Welcome to unboxing the insanely large print and play box that I received last week. Continuing on with, I think, image movie 6, Beach Landing. This is an expansion for Memoir 44. And you can play with this expansion. So it's just simple cutout of cards. I don't have backs for this. Well, I think, okay, so these go together with this. Yeah, so it matches up. Apparently you have... This is the beach landing set. So you have beach landing kinds of... Yeah, so beach landing side of the Memoir 44. So I imagine if you can't win against my AI, then you can play with these cards to aid you. There's also the countryside combat cards. These are also free to print. Let's sort them out. Okay, so what does... and there's some kind of Far Horizon special action. So it gives you some extra powers. That's the gist of it. And you recognize them by having no C. And that's it. So that is 20 cards for both expansions. So it's 40 cards. It gives a lot of variation. This is another part of Rove. It doesn't really say what expansion this is. I think it should go like so. Not pretty sure about that, but let's see. Maybe it's the icon in the bottom right that distinguishes them, but it's only on one of the sheets. Ausonia, Remnants of War. Remnants of War and Masters of Shadow are the two expansions, and when you pay the $5 to get the print and play, it's basically a card game. You also receive both expansions. The only thing that you also need is some kind of counter. There are several solutions for keeping track of the points. You have to gain influence, and influence is the scoring criterion. The one deck dungeon, extra hobby things. So these are bosses, but they don't have pips. So apparently, oh, here is the pips. So in one deck dungeon, if you are not playing the campaign, or if you are very early in the game in terms of campaign, there's only one dot difficulty, and this gives you 3 more ways to have an adventure. And this is, for example, the crypts. Mountain Fortress, Wolf Den, and then you have Ancient Ruins, Grotto, and Pyramid. So in the Grotto there's the Mind Flayer, so it gives much more variation at lower difficulties. So this is pretty awesome. The only worry that I have here is, for example, the 2-dot difficulties. So once you have unlocked certain powers on your campaign track, then you can give that a try. So there are 3 level 2 bosses extra. The game already comes with I think 2 or 3 of each pip. But here is more. Labyrinth, Volcanic Crack, and Army of the Dead. So it's some kind of hobbyist went all wild with this. Nightmare and Treasure Vaults. The only worry that I have, and I'll come back to that, is if you print them out on true true dimensions, so without rescaling. And is this the correct size? So do the dice fit on the on the rectangles, and does it fit in the box? Because the box is already filled to the brim with both one deck dungeon. I got an extra set of cards plus the Forest of Shadows. But well, time will tell. And more Rove stuff. I'll make room on my floor to account for that. These are true size. I printed out black and white for testing. They are the correct size of Hexes. Several scenarios use the terrain pack, and I don't want a terrain pack because it is then just one more box. So what I instead decided to do is just print out the hexes that I need. I don't need the rest, and just then things that don't belong together, you can print, for example, the desert and snow, for example. And cutting out hexes is painful. But it's nice to have. Look at, yeah, it's well, the good thing of FSC paper is that it feels like it is more resistant to wear and tear. It has a lot of things, and you can slide these hexes on the outside of the plastic insert, if that makes any sense. So if needed, you can take them out. You don't need an extra box. I'd rather give this out to a printing shop than to Days of Wonder. But that's just me. Okay, these are starting decks for Arkham Horror, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to use them. The Final Fantasy Flight rulebook gives a few suggested deck building lists, and this is what players think are good starting decks, but I'm not sure if they are good for solo. Time will tell. Spell Saga Bex, not very interesting, I think, for now. Yeah, it's a low resolution, but I think it's playable enough. Then we have Stamus Contra Malum. This is the Phantom the card game, the last iteration. So we checked all the texts and stuff. It's nice to have. What's more? Okay, Tzolk'in. Tzolk'in is a retail game, and these are player mats. And I can just cut out the sides, and I have a player mat in the 4 colors. Nice to have, and very cheap. If you only look at these player mats. These are fronts and backs for the standard heroes, investigators. You have then 20 dudes. These look like brothers. Strange. Anyway, so these are girls, boys, girls, boys, girls. So more girls than boys. This is boys, girls, girls, boys, girls, girls. So it's Arkham Horror is a girl game. Oh, more. Oh wait, I was too fast in my judgment. Yeah, so there. Aside from the base game, there are many other investigators, and most of these I have printed out the investigate cards that various social media forum users made, and these are modifications of the official game. I'm not really impressed by the official game at all. These will be quite painful to trash. Stella Clark, I think. Well, would be nice to have. I think I'll print them out all on cardstock and then glue them together. But it's not a very pleasant thing to cut out. So this is roll camera again. And these are the fronts of title blades. I think I need more than this, because the inside of the title blades lore book is in 80 grams per square meter, and this is 120 grams. So this would be a nice fold of the book. But I need also the other set. This is the checkbox design for Hand of Destiny. Plasticky feel. I'm not going to print out an FSC again. And this is more. That's the Devil side missions for the Phantom the card game. And we have also the inside of Hand of Destiny. So it has the inner box and the outer box, but I'm not really sure why you need both. Oh, I think that these have the cutout lines, and this doesn't. Well, nice to have. More Rove. This is the 6-card module expansion. And I also printed out the Maquis extra mission cards. So there is Bomb the Brax, Tweet the Resistance Leader, Militia IQ. And these things here, that means that if you cut out, I think it's too large. I have to check with previous. For the extra missions, you also you need a forger, a fixer, a pharmacist, and there are extra tokens that you have to add. So poison, false papers, and some kind of target to take out. This is called the 2021 new contents. So page 9 back, page 9 front, and page 10. And the rest I already have, including the Maquis expansion that nobody else has, I think. This is Peloponnes, the central playing board. For people who can't line up 5 tokens in a single row, there is a help for that. And I'm not really sure if I think it has to go like so. Yeah, it makes sense. So I'll cut out one part and glue it over the other, and then it won't fit in the box. Maybe I'll just make them 2 tiles, and then they can fit in the box. Okay. Some bonus cards that people made. The Conti Medical Examiner. What I like about the FSC version is that it's a little bit more shiny, as you can see with the lamplight. So that mimics a little bit more the official cards. I have no idea, but this is a neutral asset, so everybody can use it. It's an ally, but this is a white crescent. That means that it belongs to something. You can't select it. It also has some kind of FBI thing here that is pretty mysterious. So I'm not sure. I'll just make the cards and we'll see about that. Here's also this FBI icon. That's not standard Arkham Horror. White crescent. And here is FBI credentials. I think I have to figure out some instructions on the. This is some kind of FBI pack. So I think it works like so that it's like the X-Files. It has something like a Fox Mulder or something. So these are stand-ins for the X-File pair, and either one can use FBI stuff as an ally. I'm not sure, because when you build a deck, they don't come with an investigator card, so they are not investigators, they are allies. So with your normal investigator, you should be able to unlock them and use them. Well, I haven't figured out everything yet. I think this was useful when you want to play with talent skills that you unlock. They belong to one deck dungeon. They're all called talent skills. So how do you print them? Crafty, Fortitude, Foresight, Veteran Savvy, Aggression, Veteran Aggression. Okay, so they go like so. So you have aggression here, aggression 3, aggression 2, aggression 1, awareness 4. Okay, so you can level up in talent skills. That's an interesting idea. So it's more like traditional RPGs. Would be nice to have. Okay. This is more hobby cards, bandages, whiskey. There are neutral assets, so anyone can use it. It's permanent. So bounce doctor, opium den. So it would be nice to have them. They don't cost anything. They are not a level. So you can include them in your solo game to cure physical traumas. Or wait, this is for physical trauma, this is for mental trauma. 2 physical traumas and 2 mental traumas. So that's why it is designed like this. And Hank Swoon Pizza Boy has provided them. And Engine Acute. Well, thank you. Healing 3. Private hospital. Yeah, so what it says, healing deck rules, optional variant for campaign play, which is what I intend to do. Shuffle the healing deck, randomly pick a number of cards equal to the number of investigators, add these to the encounter deck. So if you draw them, you place them. These take effect on that investigator note that result in your campaign log. Okay. So they have effect on your campaign, but it doesn't really say how it makes. It doesn't really say how it affects. Let's see. If Roland loses all his horror but has whiskey in play, he is still out of that scenario, but the post-scenario mental trauma can be negated. Okay, so apparently you can have post-scenario mental trauma. Never got that far. Okay. Next up, Dungeon Fleeing, standees. Totally unnecessary, but nice to have. And I was just wondering if it would add to the immersion. Dungeon Flee is a fantastic game. That is why I helped the creator with improving the box components and box quality and the descriptions and the stories and the typos, and I got as a thank you the box for free. It's a great game, perfect for when you have nothing else to do. Okay, these took quite some time to make. For Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game, I have everything except these cards. They play a role in some kind of one scenario, the unwanted delivery or something, where you have some kind of Nurgle god that curses you, and these are in the setup. So you need not the Blood Knight, but the Mass of Nurglings, Rot Zombie Horde. And as usual, you have 2 standards and 1 elite, as you can see as well here. And you follow the steps in the enemy's phase. And this is of course a stronger version for. This is what his attack. This is his armor, and this is his health. So it takes a bit more time to kill it, but it does more damage. So you want to go for them. Yeah, Arkham Horror. You can spend a lifetime with what I have so far. This is Nations. Nations was the most ugly game that my group even refused to touch. But it has a solo, and you can make 5 copies, 1 for each player, but I just make 1 copy for myself. And apparently you can keep track of the various you can see how low resolution it is. Yeah, so it's an ugly game, but it has some charm of its own. This is Tiny Tokaido. I made Tiny Tokaido, and I printed it out again because Tiny Tokaido, I made a mistake of putting it in a Ziploc, like so. And Ziplocs have this cursed ability to disappear in your shelf. They go to places where nobody else goes, and you can't find again your game. So this is one of several things that got lost in in my house, and I just printed out again. The tip for printing it out nicely is to the souvenir sheets. You have to layer, give it a few more layers, because what you do is these all become small tokens that you keep in your hand, and you let them fall. And if you print them out like so, it will be too not enough weight in your hand, and it feels nicer if you add some weight. Fold on the gutted line. Okay, this is perfect. I mean, very easy to build. But just cut out this part. I'm gonna fold this. But for this you have to add some extra layers. That's all I have to add. It's a great game. It doesn't have a solo, but it fits again in a Ziploc. But it fits in your backpack, and you can just play it out with. It's very friendly. It has many heroes with special abilities. Nice design. You don't need the giant Tokaido game. But it follows more or less the same tropes. I have Tokaido on digital. Now, here is some other hobbyists. No, I think this is the base game. Somebody made out a base game because in the early days you only got 1 copy, so you couldn't play all the characters. You had not enough cards, and these are all base game cards, and as you can see they also have the copyright notes and the number. So I will make them to enhance my investigator cards. This is also base game. Also base game. Okay. So Fantasy Flight Game won't mind. Okay, building civilization. This is Peloponnes. Peloponnes can be played for with 5 players in the base game, 6 players